Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hey, today what we're doing is we're answering multi-class questions. That's the whole point of today's live stream. And we're going to give, I'm sure it'll take everybody a minute to get in here. I'm going to go ahead and hop in game. Maybe I'll just grind some stuff out, grind out some skill lines while we're doing this. For those watching after the fact, welcome in. Let me know, guys, if we get more questions and you guys want to send them to me. Hello, Lyriel. You guys want to send them to me in a DM. I'll be happy to put them on the list for next time. If we don't get a lot of questions or if it takes everybody a minute to get in here, I didn't have this up days ahead of time. I should have. That was just all the craziness going on. I just missed it. Just my mistake there. But yeah, that is the plan though. So throw them in chat. Let me know. Send them to me in a DM if you're in the Discord, and I'll add them to the list, and we can do this again if we need to. A couple of announcements here. Actually, I should pull it up for all of you guys. We got merch, guys. We got merch for a limited time. It's just under. Hey, what's up, Vatra? Just under 2 weeks right now. We have. We're doing merch. So it's going to be basically a pre-order for the next like 2 weeks, just a little bit. 2 weeks from last Friday, and then we'll end it, and then we'll have everything shipped hopefully within a couple of weeks. I'm working with an independent creator that is both designing and making everything but the actual like shirts themselves. Hey, Terrell, what's going on? So if you guys are interested in that, you should see it linked at the bottom of my YouTube videos. I will say that for whatever reason, YouTube, so we have some class shirts as well, which I think are really cool. And also just like some Night Horror Gaming ones. So I will actually pull that up real quick just to show you guys. So this is on Fourth Wall, but you can just find this from any of the YouTube videos. It should be linked at the bottom. This is the basic, this is the basic design here. You can see it on a t-shirt here. We don't have all the colors. Hopefully you understand why. Small operation. And then this is for the basic one here, which is just like front and back, and then a little logo on the back, and then the front there with the kind of the Dark Brotherhood theme. If you're looking for something a little bit more, I don't know. So basically it's like starts at 25, then there's a $30 one and then a $35 one. You guys can go look for yourselves, but I just wanted to show you this real quick. So the, I guess, more expensive one, the more premium one or whatever, you actually have, so it says alpha tester on the sleeve, and the whole idea here is that we're only going to do, I think, one run of these. So get them while they're hot. If we do, we'll do some in the future if this goes well. And I'm sure in a long enough time frame, we'll do it no matter what. Hey, Bill, what's going on, man? So the other sleeve has a kind of Daedric pentagram, which is kind of cool, or I guess really kind of just a generic summoning circle. And then the $35, the highest costing one here, also has, it's in like foil. I looked at actually signing them, but it has my signature. Apparently, if you actually sign them, that just washes off in like 7 or 8 washes. So that's what we got for shirts. And then if you're just interested in something for a class, we've got some really cool ones. So this is a Necro design here. We've got hoodies on all of this stuff as well. And then on the back, just below the neck, it'll have the Night Horror Gaming logo there. So yeah, there's Necros right now. We got DKs, Wardens, and Sorcerers. Nightblade is done. It just needs to be put up. And then the rest will be coming soon. And yeah, you guys can check them out. Potentially we'll keep the class ones. We might try to keep up, but for right now, everything's if you want it, probably try to get it in this 2-week block. If there's some special order or something you'd like, let us know. So I've already been reached out. There's a couple people that were like, hey, I need some big and tall stuff. So actually I need to look into that. But I think we can pretty much accommodate any size, guys, if you have, kids or anything like that too. Realish, how's it going, man? How's it going? Guys, I'm doing great. Any chance around when you're dropping an Arcist healer guide for the multiclass thing? Yeah. Realish, if you want to talk about multiclassing stuff, man, today is the day. Arcanist, though, as far as like healer builds, like absolutely, I'm doing, it's more about like, here's an interesting healer build, and then less about like, hey, here's an Arcanist specific build, because most of those builds, you can kind of do whatever. Vatra says, I already ordered my my merch before the Nightblade design was revealed. Do you know if I order the Nightblade design as well, if both orders will be shipped at the same time? They will be, Vatra, they will be. And we can, if we need to, man, we could claw back that order because if you want to redo the whole order, I can look into it though. I'm not sure what the best way to do. Probably since the merchant is processing everything, it would I'll have to look into it, man, because I don't know if we can like zero out the shipping going through the whole process, or if we need to like cancel that order and let you reorder everything. Um, yeah, man, we can look into that for you though for sure, absolutely. So yeah, sounds like we got a question though, Realish. Do you want to go through it right now, man? Is now the time? You ready to do it? We can take a look. I don't know if I have everything unlocked on live, but if we need to, we can pop over on the PTS and kind of go through everything for you. I can hop on Dark Scales Mini Eyes, which is our my main Arcanist healer, and so we can pop in on that. Of course, I know how you roll by now. Take your time. I don't mind waiting. I know it'll be good. Hey, no problem. But I can get you the skill setups though, and get you a lot of stuff like right now. That's exactly what this today is designed for, guys. Also, just a kind of an announcement, just to let you guys know. So don't worry about me. I'm totally fine. But I have some demands on my time right now that are family related, and they're important. And I was talking with some friends about some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry I've been late on this, like, IRL, and like, stuff's coming up." And I at one point this is actually, I'll just tell you exactly what it was. I was talking to the person who's making our merch, and Bonky, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't get this thing to you. I was like, I could either work today or I could spend time with family, and I really think I need to spend time with family." And she was like, "Yeah, that's I don't know." She was like, "A truer statement has never been said about like at the end of your life, you're not going to be like, I wish I had worked more." So I am going to be not streaming a lot of trials for the next week or two. And it's just because I have demands, right, for YouTube. I need to get out these videos for you guys, and I want to, right? It's really important. Basically, I have more demands on my time right now than I can possibly meet, and something has to give. And so I think what I'm just going to do, I normally run about 20 hours of trials a week. Oftentimes right now, that's actually even higher. I'm still going to be running a couple of trials, but I'm basically going to claw back about 20 hours from my week for the next couple of weeks because I just need that time for other things. I'm good. Don't worry about me. I appreciate everybody always gives the well wishes and everything, or might be concerned that something's going on. I personally am fine. It's just that, again, something that is more important. Right, and that's the I guess nice thing for working for yourself is you can make those kind of decisions, and I wish we all had that kind of freedom. The trade-off right now is I don't get paid if I don't work, but that's okay. There are things a lot more important than, and I know you guys all feel the same way, than working and just making money. So cool. I'm trying to figure out how to turn off these really fancy bars. You know what? Maybe it's fine. It's kind of small down there, and I'm not really used to it. I have like several of these. LUI Extended, I think, is one of them. I'm not even sure what the other one is. I'm like looking through all these, and I'm like, which one of these do I? Bandits was another one. Maybe there's a third add-on that I need to turn off. I'm on PS5, so gotta wait. Oh, you gotta wait anyway. Okay. Take care of the family. Look out for number one, and don't step in number two. Bill, thank you. That is great advice, man. I appreciate it. It's LUI. Okay. Well, there's still another one though, right? Yeah, I appreciate it, Vatrick, because there's still another one. But let's take a look. Regardless, let's take a look at the Arcanist Healer and see what we can do. So. And you know what, guys, I'm thinking about doing before I even finish all of the specific build guides, kind of a more generic one for the tanks and for the healers again, because I know it's such a problem for you guys. So first off here on our front bar, so I just want to, actually, let's just do this. I just want to start off by showing you like the basic setup, okay? So the basic setup is, I think this, right? So on your front bar, illustrious healing. You're always going to have it. Next up, combat prayer. Always going to have it. This is your main spammable. Did you just download every single add-on? Terrell, I think so, man. I think so. So it's right here. 2 spots on your front bar. You're almost always going to be running barrier for the passives on your front bar as well. There are other ultimates you could run here for passives, but right now barrier I think works. back bar, we got Wall of Elements, guys. We're always going to have it here. We've got Energy Orb and Echoing Vigor. You can take all of these off your bar in certain situations. Generally speaking, I would not. Okay, you want a really compelling reason before you start messing with those 5/6 skills. The recovery and barrier is, can go either way. Can you make the game screen big? Oh, yes, I can. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you. All right. So we've got. There we go. How's that? It's a little bit better. It's a lot better. It's not perfect, I'm sure. It could be even larger, I imagine. So those are the cool. All right, those are the five or six skills that just aren't going to leave your bar. So the thing you're going to find with pretty much all multi-classing is that you really only have room on your bar for 2 skill lines worth of skills for the most part. And what I mean by that is, like, by the time you're adding a 3rd skill line, you're kind of like, I hope I don't have to slot any of these skills, because you're just going to run out. All right, so let's just take a look. So let's say we want to run Green Balance. Now, Green Balance is an amazing skill line. We absolutely want to be running it, and the main thing we want is Budding Seeds. Budding Seeds is just an amazing heal. It lasts for 6 seconds. It has a heal over time and then a burst heal at the end. This character is probably naked, by the way, so if these values seem low, that's why. It's an amazing heal. I often look at the difference between my heals and other healers when I'm not on a Warden, and if they're out healing me, I look at Budding Seeds, and it's usually like it's a significant portion of their overall heals, because it's just such a great heal. It's a short duration, so you do have to cast it very often, but it's an amazing heal. The other thing is the maturation passive down here. Whenever you heal yourself or an ally, you grant them minor toughness, which increases their max health by 10% for 10 seconds. This is a unique, or it goes up to 20 seconds. This is a unique buff that can only be provided by the Warden, and you can't, there's other sets and other things. There's no good other place to get it, okay? So a Warden is always doing it, so we always want, hey, Nani, so we always want it on one person, and honestly, both healers could grab Green Balance just for Budding Seeds, and it would be just fine with me. Other things we have here, so you know what? Let me spec into these actually, just so it'll be a little bit easier to see the full values. When you heal yourself or an ally under 40%, you gain major mending, increasing your healing done by 16%. Guys, for heal checks, this is S tier. So what seems to happen, and I don't know the math on this, but by the feel, I would bet quite a bit of money, okay? It seems like when you have a heal debuff and it like drops your heals, typically it's like 60% at the minimum, sometimes up to I think 70. But it seems like when it drops down your heals by 70%. When you have things that buff your healing, it seems that it nets that amount and then subtracts. And so the reason that is important is because that would mean that a 60% healing debuff, for example, Sunspire, I think it's 60% on normal non-hard mode Sunspire, but well, we could say hard mode, 70%. So what it really feels like is happening is that you're reducing that by 16%, so it's actually like a 54% healing debuff, and that is a lot better than if you reduce the heals and then you add back 15% of a much lower number. Does that make sense? That's how the math works out. Whether you follow that or not, depends how mathy you are, I suppose. It's huge, okay? And this seriously means the difference between like Tombs blowing up and Tombs not blowing up. So major mending, absolutely cracked. Absolutely love it. Nature's Gift will help us a little bit. Actually, will help us a lot of it with recoveries. So whenever we heal an ally with a Green Balance ability, which again, we're going to be doing all the time, you restore 277 magicka or stamina, whichever resource is lower. This effect can occur once every second. Jeez. So this is huge for sustain. Also remember that this is happening once every second. Normally your recoveries are given as once every 2 seconds. The value for recoveries is it ticks every 2 seconds. So this would be over 500 recoveries, which is like, it's a lot. I don't even know on a healer or a DPS, but on a tank, that's like a fourth of your total recoveries. It's crazy. Then we have Emerald Moss, increase your healing done with Green Balance abilities. We only have one, so it's kind of like, but it's fine. And then the maturation passive, which we just talked about, okay? So Green Balance, absolutely amazing. These other skills here, honestly, not situationally, maybe a couple of them. Living Vines sucks. Don't ever use it. Nature's Grasp is basically just like a combat prayer now, except for combat prayer hits an AoE and is in a giant area, so I don't really recommend running it. I could double check that. Actually, I can't double check that. I don't remember if any morphs, but this was changed to basically be the same value, maybe a little bit more than a combat prayer, and it's like at that point just combat prayer. Fungal growth, this is not the best place that we can get minor endurance and minor intellect for our group, but it is a place if we really need to. So we could go with enchanted growth. There are better places. Let me show you actually in a second. And then depending on what you're running, so we're gonna see if we're running obviously curative rune forms here. I really like having one of the healers run Glyphic of the Tides. I think it's absolutely correct, and I can actually show you some cool stuff here in a second with that as well. Terrell says, I added green balance and shadow to my Templar healer, liking it so far. Awesome. Cool. So Zenith's Empowering Disc, this has been destroyed basically. So basically we're having all of the DPS run on the banner Minor Courage, because right now Zenith's Empowering Disc will hit 6 people. It won't smart target, and it won't change the people. So what happens is that it's just really hard to get it on the entirety of your group, so you get really bad uptimes. But if you just put it on banner, then you're good. You don't have to worry about it. So most people are doing that. You could do a couple of other things, but I think banner with Courage banner is just the way to go right now. And if you want heroism, you're actually going to slot that on your Fighters Guild. I don't have it unlocked on this character right now, but the Torch, you can put minor heroism, and that hits 6 people every sweep. And it's a stamina heal. It actually works quite well. So that's what you do there. We can maybe jump over if you guys want. Guys, also, I think more people are in here now. If you guys have questions, you want to talk about something, we're going over the Arcanist right now, but drop your questions in chat and we'll go through it. So we're doing this for realish, but if anybody else has something, throw it out there. Fleetfooted Gaze, just fun for trash. Title Chakram. So the situation, it used to be, guys, that you built, hey, what's up, Lenny? You used to build up Crux and then need to spend it. But now, since if you actually look at these passives, let's go through them. So for each Crux you have, you heal for 4% more. That is 12% increase healing. And Nani says, how do I not lose my mind? Nani, just take a deep breath and realize that it doesn't friggin' matter at the end of the day. It'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. So 12% extra healing, just period. Just for being cool, just for being an Arcanist, for reading books. Then we have Hideous Clarity here. When you generate Crux, you generate magic and stamina. I think most of the time we're going to find out, guys, that we're just not spending Crux at all. Okay, we'll go through that more. Erudition, knowledge is power. So 18% magic and stamina recovery. It's like one of the best ones in the game. Nightblade gets 15%. I think Sork can get 20, but it's just for Magicka. So it's one of the best sustained passives in the game that I can think of. It's kind of crazy. And then with Curative Rune Form slotted, your status as an Illuminatus reduces the cost, increases the strength of your damage shields by 10%. So this does have to be on the bar that you're slotted on. So if you're throwing out a lot of heals and on your front bar, then make sure you have Glyphic or something else from this skill line slotted. Now here, I think I have Tidal Chakram, which normally consumes Crux and heal. I would probably just go with the other morph of this now for generating Crux if you're in a group where everybody's spread out or what have you. And then for generating Crux, so I would not use Runemend, generally speaking, if you don't have to. But it's there for you if you need it. Bill says, have to watch this later. Quail is done. All right, we'll catch you later, Bill. Let me know if you have any questions when you check it out later. Drop in the comments. All right, so tons of crazy good passives. Glyphic of the Tides. I really think that one of your healers can be running this and dropping it all the time. So, anyways, those are 2 examples of a skill line. You don't need to run Green Balance. It's just really good. That's why I'm mentioning it here. Siphoning. Siphoning is all about the Catalyst passive. Let me show you here. Every time you drink a potion, you get 30 ultimate. Now, if you're sweating it out, you take some reduced potion cooldowns, and you're just chugging potions. And then you're dropping Glyphics like on cooldown. Glyphic lasts for 15 seconds, guys, which is crazy. Gives 200 weapon and spell damage, also heals, also grants major protection when the Glyphic is at full health, which shouldn't take very long. It's crazy, right? Amazing. You can drop this literally on cooldown, okay? If you run these skill lines, siphoning, and you're just chugging potions, You know, if you went Living Death here, that could help you out even more. But you can just absolutely just drop Glyphics on cooldown, which is really cool for increasing your party's damage and also making sure everybody's healed. So if you're running siphoning, a couple of notes here. So Strife and I just out of skill points? Let me claw back some of these skill points so we can look. It's so expensive. All right. There we go. Now we can look at everything. Okay, so Strife, if you're in a dungeon group or you're very close to your group in a trial setting, this is much mo better than running something like for the restoration staff, running Radiating Regen. Now, Radiating Regen has a radius of 28 meters, and Funnel Health, I'm sorry, does not. I don't know what the exact, it says 15 meters here. The skill itself will hit from 15 meters. It seems like the HOTS, who it's going on, is less than that to me. I haven't tested it. Maybe it's the range is 28 and it's hitting an 18 meter or a 50 meter radius. Maybe that's it. It doesn't. I just have a lot of problems getting this on people that I think are within 15 meters of me. I could be wrong. Could be user error. But just realize you got to double check and make sure this is actually proccing on people. If it does proc on everybody or the people you want it to, it's an amazing heal. It heals because it's based on your damage, and in a trial or even in a dungeon, you're going to be buffed enough if you're in an optimal group that it's going to greatly out heal the resto staff. You know, what you would normally use there, which is Radiating Regen. If everybody's spread out, like in VAS, Radiating Regen is the way to go, because this is Funnel Health is not going to. Sorry, I'm like mixing the morphed and unmorphed versions. It's not going to hit everybody, but if you can use it, it's absolutely amazing. If you need a single target burst heal, Healthy Offering is an amazing one. I use this for Sunspire Tombs. Lenny asks, what's your thoughts on Plar line versus the Arc line? For healing, in particular. And then while he's answering, I'll keep going. If you need more recoveries, which you probably don't, then what you want is siphoning attacks here. Put it on your back bar. You don't need to necessarily cast it, but you could. And I think this will solve all of your recovery problems if you can make room for it. And again, you're seeing the problem here, right? So like with Curative Rune Forms, we need to slot something. I think we probably go with the other morph of our shield, picking a bar to slot that on, and these other three skills are going to stay there. If we do slot siphoning, hopefully we don't always need a single target heal. Hopefully we don't always need a heal to hit groups that are moving, because the siphoning, the Funnel Health, is a sticky hot, so it will stay on them for 10 seconds even if they move out of group. So other passives here, we get a little bit increased mag and stam. Not going to do a ton for us. Increase your healing done per ability slotted. We're not going to really be stacking our bar, but it will provide us with a little bit of benefit there, and then generate a little bit ultimate whenever, which we're not too worried about, guys. This is like the equivalent of 0.5 per second. It's nothing, insane. So Lenny here was asking what my thoughts are running Plar versus Arc. So I can't actually swap out the Arc right now, but we'll swap out the green balance here. And it looks like I don't have it. Looks like I don't have it. Were you referring to the Restoring Light, I assume? I really like this skill line. I think that it is... So I was asked specifically about the Curative Rune Forms running this on an Arc. So this one would stay on an Arc, so we wouldn't do anything there. Other options here, we'll jump over to that. How about that, Miles? Right after we finish this, and maybe I'll even jump on a Templar so we can look at the full skill line or something. So other options here, if you want more heals, guys, Living Death is an amazing skill line. You could swap that out. So siphoning is really just for the ulti gen. If you're not trying to sweat it out with the ulti gen, you could swap something else here. The thing is that it's nice to have siphoning mostly for ulti gen, because again, as we mentioned, you just don't have the bar space to put on three good healing skill lines worth of skills. So our Spirit Mender here, Intensive Mender is the way to go if you wanted that. You want to gain and consume corpses for the passive so that you generate more ultimate. The Living Death skill line, guys, so while you have a negative effect on you, increases your healing done by 12%. Absolutely massive. There's plenty of places where you have some sort of bleed or even any kind of negative effect. where this will it's just cracked. It's just a ton of extra healing. Near-death experience, while you have a living death ability slotted, so you do need to make sure you have this on your front bar, your critical strike chance with all healing abilities is increased by 12% in proportion to the severity of the target's wounds. That's another thing that will do crazy good whenever you're looking at a heal check. Guys, if you have living death and green balance and curative rune forms all on your bar and you're healing, it's going to be so easy. For as far as like raw heals, it's going to be absolutely cracked. Casey says Templar base next would be great. All right, awesome. That's fair. I have to come into a chat later as well. Okay, all right, cool. So corpse consumption, when you consume a corpse, you generate 10 ultimate. This can happen once every 16 seconds, I'm sorry. So your spirit mender is 8 seconds. So recasting this every 2 casts, making sure you consume a corpse. I'll show you how to do that in a second. There's a couple of really great heals here. Undead Confederate, a bit of recovery when we have our companion out. It's recovery, and it's a lot lower value, you'll notice, in a lot of the other stuff. So while it helps, it's not that big of a deal. Nothing, this Undead Confederate doesn't really make or break our sustain or anything like that. Okay, so we can create a corpse with our intensive mender. Obviously, ads can also do that. The go-to here is Braided Tether. Braided Tether is a really good heal for several reasons. One, it doesn't cost anything. You just consume a corpse. While it's on your bar, it increases your heals by 3%. All of your healing done, so that's really nice. Potentially put this on your front bar. And then it will heal around you, around the corpse, and then anybody in between the line. Situationally, this is S tier. It's really good situationally. It's cool because you can potentially you can chain it to a corpse that'll go through the group, and then even if you're kiting, it'll still heal you as you're running around. This is one, whenever I'm worried about healing myself, this is a skill I often use. It doesn't have the longest duration, but it's free, so it's not a big deal. And it's one, again, that I use whenever I want to make sure that I'm not dying, okay, because I'm having to run around and kite. Now, life amid death, both morphs of this are really good. So Enduring Undeath here is the morph that so it lasts for 5 seconds. So it's a burst heal. It's kind of like the opposite of a lot of ways. It's kind of the opposite of our Budding Seeds, because Budding Seeds has a heal over time and then a burst heal. And Life Amid Death has the opposite. It has a burst heal and then a heal over time. Starts at 5 seconds. For each corpse it consumes, it adds an additional 5 seconds, up to 25. So you can get like a 30-second heal off this ability in, for example, Rockgrove on the first boss. There's those frogs everywhere. Drop it, and it's really cool. When it consumes a corpse, guys, it puts the necro symbol on the ground, and it looks baller. Okay, it looks really cool, and I think that is enough to run it just there, you know? It also tells the DPS where they can stand to get in the heals, and it lets you know that you consumed a corpse, so it's at least going to last for 10 seconds. So Enduring Undeath, a really great heal. And it could be what you can use to consume corpse instead of Braided Tether, because probably and oftentimes you don't want to run Braided Tether and Enduring Undeath in the same situation. So one is an AoE heal that's stationary on the ground. The other one is potentially for different kinds of fight. And Terrell says, looking cool is more important anyways. 100%. Casey says, got to roll, but I'll swing back by after my soccer game. Hey, man, good luck. Crush it. Hope it goes well. And yeah, we'll cover the Templar after this, so it'll be here for you. Renewing Undeath, the other morph of this, will cleanse people. This is mostly useful in Halls of Fabrication on the, the first boss, the chickens, Negatrix and Positrix, and it's just a really cheap cleanse is basically what it turns into, compared to something that costs literally twice as much using efficient purge. So that's why we like this for that situation. Any other situation where you need to cleanse people, it's absolutely amazing. It just doesn't have the increased duration. It only lasts for that 5 seconds. Okay. Couple of great abilities here. If you need a huge burst, single target burst heal, resistant flesh is amazing. It's crazy expensive, so you will run out of mag if you're not careful, but it's really good. And then also, guys, you got the necro res. You know, sometimes you can't stop people from standing in red. You can't stop them from dying to mechanics, right? You can't heal them through that. So sometimes necro res will absolutely help everybody get through content. So love it. I love the skill line. I don't think it gets enough love. I don't think it ever has, But yeah, great skill line here. So that's several options there. Again, the Templar running Restoring Light would also be an option, as would running a Nightblade Siphoning. And actually, we'll call that here. Which skill line do you run? You really only need green balance, and then it's a question of, do you want more ultigen? Then you go Siphoning and Living Death. Those are the two S tier ones for ultimate generation. And then after that, it's a choose your own adventure, and you're going for more heals and other utility. There is one other thing you need to worry about, because we do want to make sure that we're providing both minor intellect and minor endurance to our party. Critically important in the new setups, because I think a lot of DPS are struggling with sustain, and we have a solution for that. So we're going to jump over to the Templar healer that, honestly, I don't know what the last time I've been on this Templar healer. I used to run with him a lot, but sometimes I hop on a character I haven't played in a long time, and I'm like, it's been a minute. Okay. I don't remember if I had it on Bring Dawn's Light. I think that might be... I had another healer. He might not have his skill lines leveled. I had another Templar healer, and it looks like I've deleted them to make room. And it was an Argonian. I'm sorry, Mother Clucker. Mother Clucker won't forgive me if it was an Argonian. All right, guys. Again, we're looking at Templars now for healers. If anybody has questions, it could be tank related. I know there's at least one person out there that was going to send me, I think, some tank related questions. But if you got anything, guys, drop it in chat, and we'll jump to it next. That's all we're doing today. All we're doing today is going through and talking about multiclassing. Try to answer questions for you guys. All right. So we're just getting it unlocked here. Okay, excellent. All right, I do have things leveled. We'll take that. And it does look like I need to actually remorph some of these. Let's just confirm. Sure, sounds good. And will she let us? Will she refund our? I think we might need to go to a. I think do I have to actually pick something? I'm going to pick something because I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't want to like leave and come back and she tells me that I can't respec or anything. On the PTS, you had to go through and like do this once to be able to get back your to be able to use like other like respec scrolls for whatever reason. It was kind of, I don't know if I assumed it was just kind of broken, but I don't know if it probably went live like that. So I'll just go through the steps anyways to make sure that it's not bugged out for us, but we're just going to go respec. Yeah, anything, man. Any questions that you guys have, like everybody has questions for me. I know because I get a bunch in my comments and I try to answer them there, but I know people have questions. So if you have specific questions, if you have a build and you want specific questions about it, like sending me a CMX would probably be the most helpful, but we'll walk through it. Whatever you got, I'm happy to walk through everything. Yeah, that's what today is all about. Okay. Let's take a look at Restoring Light. So this is what Lenny was asking about. And he was asking about running Restoring Light versus, what was it? I actually have to look up here. What's your thoughts on Plar line versus the Arc line? Okay, so I think the Arc line, to answer his question directly, I think the Arc line is, it's really strong in the passives. And there's not really a ton to add to your bar. So if you were looking for something, and also for the arc line, I'm sorry, the heal beam is also cracked for certain situation, guys. I don't always think it's a good idea for a lot of people to run it because they drop their hots. I think for raw healing, I think the arc and a skill line is probably the way to go. But there's also no hugely compelling reason why you have to run it. There's just not anymore. Okay, like it's a really good skill line. We can actually grab it here. I think, can't we? Yeah, let's actually grab it. Curative Rune Forms, level 1. There we go. There we go. So you got a shield. Sure, the beam can make heal checks like Cloud Rest, like like Sunspire, can make them absolutely trivial. Either morph of it is fine too. People always ask me. I prefer the version that morphs up over time, not the one that heals for more with low health targets. I've tried them both, and I can't really tell the difference hardly. There's just one I slightly prefer. Madrid Girl says, can you talk support DPS in trials at some point? Is MK really out? I think MK is more looking at being put on a healer, Madrid. That's what I would be inclined to do. But yeah, I think that the DPS loss from it compared to what you get, I just think in an optimal group you put it on a healer or you don't worry about it because there's too many targets because it will only affect one target. That's my take. But I want to run it in the VDSR group, hard mode group actually, because I think it could be helpful to do so. At least on Teleria. On the Twins, I'm on the short side, so that's not going to help anybody. And then on the Reef Guardians, obviously there's a bunch of them, so I don't really think it's going to do that much to move the needle. Something else would probably help more, but on Teleria, I definitely think it could. Okay, Chakram Shields, though, as we were talking about, yeah, it's really great for spread out areas. You throw this out, hits everybody, it's smart targets, works incredibly well in dungeons, but even in trials, if everybody's spread out. Think anytime you're in Vast, but also like first boss, Insanity's Edge. If the group is like any PUG group really that you're running trials with can be really helpful. What lines would supports run? Absolutely. We'll jump over there and talk about that next, Madrid. Totally. And I might have to pull up some of my notes because I haven't done that build yet. It's one of the ones that is still the most work in progress, but I think we still have some skill lines and some stuff that we can talk about. All right. Yeah, we talked about all the healing and stuff. Let's talk about restoring light. So, mending. Increase your healing done by 13% in proportion to the target's wounds. Again, low health targets, you're getting a huge amount of extra raw heals there. Similar to what we saw in the curative rune forms, similar to what we saw with a Necro. It's really great, right? Better than most other skill lines. Sacred Ground. While standing in your own cleansing ritual, rune focus or rite of passage, area of effects, and for up to 4 seconds after leaving them, gain minor mending, increasing your healing done by 8%. You'll pretty much always have this going on, guys. Is the ignore the proc chance. If you're doing the right things, you'll pretty much always have this. Minor mending, 8% heals, another huge increase to healing. Also increases the amount of damage you can block by 10%, which is pretty cool too. On certain fights, certain situations. It's kind of a bonus to have as a healer. Lightweaver. While you heal an ally under 50% health with a restoring light ability, you grant them to ultimate. Not really going to be something you can plan on and what have you, but it's really cool. The second half of this lets you be considered blocking for 2 seconds while casting a channeled ability. That can be really helpful for running trample. Don't worry, we'll get there. Master Ritualist. Increase resurrection speed by 20%. Hopefully this isn't something you need to be using a lot. And then, this isn't really important for us as a healer. Resurrected allies start with more health. Okay, so what do we want to talk about? So first off here, Healing Ritual, guys. This is really good for PvP. And really isn't, like, if you're in the craziest pug ever and you just can't friggin' heal people, maybe use this. But in an organized or even semi-organized trial, if the group will stand roughly in front of you in a rough stack, you just want to use combat prayer. This is basically like a worse combat prayer. Hey, Jessica, what's going on? Welcome in. So it's really great in PvP, and it's really great, I guess, if like the group is trolling you with the way they're acting. But in general, don't put this on your bar as a PvE healer. Okay, just use combat prayer. I know it looks good. I know you want to use a Templar ability. I want that for us too, but this is not it. Okay, it's just not really worth doing. Now, earlier we said we wanted some source of minor intelligence and minor endurance, and the reason is because those grant 15% magic and stamina recoveries. With the changes to the banner now costs significant amounts of magic and stamina. Really hurts our sustain. It doesn't just reduce it, it actually costs something. Radiant Aura will proc in a 28-meter radius, which is like the entire arena, guys. It's a huge area, and it'll last for 60 seconds. This is one that will take one of your flex spots, but will provide those buffs. I think someone needs to be running it, okay? That's just my take. Honor the Dead, really, Breath of Life. These are 2 skills. That's your single target burst deal if you need it, just up here, just FYI. So Honor the Dead will be more efficient, but if you're worried about taking damage while healing tombs, then Breath of Life would be a better way to go as long as you can not run out of mana. Honor the Dead just gives you back recoveries a couple of seconds after. It reduces the cost by a significant amount, but it gives you back those recoveries over time, so you can still run out of magicka with that, but if you don't run out before you heal the tomb, you'll get back a bunch of magic afterwards. Ritual. Oh, we don't want ritual retribution. We want extended ritual. This is the biggest heal in the game, guys. This thing is absolutely massive. Okay, so this will allow everybody to hit a synergy to heal them. It also heals them while they're inside of it, and it can cleanse people. Okay, so extended ritual. This is probably one of your go-tos. You leave this on your bar most of the time, and also radiant aura, as long as you have room for both. But this is the thing that will proc our sacred ground down here. All right. Restoring focus is more of a tank skill. You could use it if you needed to source your own major resolve, but probably you don't need to. It does give recoveries as well. Probably you don't need it, but it does give recoveries as well. So I guess that could help also, but I don't think you have room for it most of the time. So probably you're not going to run it. Yeah, I want to try to make sure I answer Lenny's question directly. I know he had to go, but I'm sure he'll come back. What do I think of restoring light versus curative rune forms? I like curative rune forms because I think one person should be dropping glyphics. And so I think you're already going to have it anyways. Once you have one person, you probably don't need another. Restoring light, I think radiant aura or one of the Nightblade skill lines, which we'll talk about in a second. Oh, you are still here. Okay. I think radiant aura and this whole skill line. So let me show you guys. So the other place that makes a lot of sense for us to get, and it's not going to be leveled. That sucks. Oh well, we can talk about it. Is the shadow skill line, and the shadow skill line gives us several things. Refreshing shadows here goes up to 15% increase recovery of magicka and stamina and health. Health doesn't really matter though. That's amazing. That's a huge boon to recoveries. We love that. The other passives down here, Shadow Barrier is for tanks mostly and for a little bit of resistance. Not going to help you out. Dark Vigor, also for tanks, increases your maximum health. Dark Veil just increases the duration of these abilities. It's really just Refreshing Shadows that you get here. And then Path of Darkness. If you choose Refreshing Path, it will give those intellect and endurance, and it'll give Major Expedition, and it's a good heal. It's a very nice skill. It's really good. Do I think it justifies running the Shadow skill line? Not unless you just want to. I don't think it does. Got to change your name to Knight the Glyphic Lover Harrow. Hey man, I do love the Glyphic. I will say that. It's just a buff. Like what other 200 weapon and spell damage buff in the game, set or otherwise, do people just completely ignore, Lenny? Like, there's probably a couple actually, but there's not many, right? Like people just completely ignore it and act like it's not there. I don't know why. And it gives major protection. And it's a gigantic area. And it heals. Like, why would you not run that instead of barrier if you could? Jessica says, make a tier list for which main class would be better to level. Jessica, I can do that for you right now, actually. You don't even have to wait. Arcanist. It's at the top. A gap. Necro. A gap. Everybody else. Actually, a really big gap. Everybody else. It's Arcanist is like, it's from the class mastery. It's way up there. The only reason Necro is also on that list is because of Corpse Buster if you're a DPS and you want to run a class set. The class mastery, the only class that it really matters for, not really matters for, the class that matters the most for and is crucially important, generally speaking, is the Arcanist. And so it's the Arcanist. Everybody else's class mastery ranges from like interesting to pretty cool to like, yeah, it's actually, you could run that, to like, it's garbage. Why would you run it? It's a waste of time. Most of them falling into that latter category. Rilla says, going to save the rest of the stream for my tribe to class in the morning. Okay, cool, man. All right. I do watch all your streams. Have a good night. All right, cool, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Realish. Thanks for watching, man. Lenny says, a strong case. Basically, as soon as you want to use the banner, Arc wins. Yeah. Arc is just, I mean, you know, it was the pay to win class when it came out. Nobody really regarded it that way, I don't think, because there's other stuff, you know, there's other stuff out there that you got with the patch or whatever, but like that's really what it was. At least it seemed like what it was to me. So yeah, a lot of amazing heals in here, and you get to use the glyphic. So I don't know. I put one of each, to be totally honest with you. So Shadow here, again, it can be what would replace Restoring Light, but I think Restoring Light is better. So if you're looking, so just to kind of rehash this a little bit, guys, so that we can kind of make sure it's really clear for everybody, because I know we kind of ramble a little bit in these. Not really ramble, but there's just so many. As Nani was saying, how do I not make my head spin and explode? Okay, if you are looking for healing skill lines, okay, the number one is Green Balance, and the reason is because of the passives, maturation, and because of healing seeds, which turns into budding seeds. S tier, amazing heal, ton of other really great buffs here as well. So you want that. You got a unique buff. You got the best heal probably in the game. Just generally speaking for trials, and you got a bunch of bonus healing stuff, which will make heal checks easy and will just make you a better healer. So you can't really go wrong with it. After that, like other class skill lines that you just absolutely have to have, I don't actually think there's any that you just absolutely have to have. Ones that make a lot of sense, as we said here, Restoring Light, I think is a great one. You really want these minor recoveries right now. Somebody needs to have them, and I think Restoring Light is the way to go. So I would put Restoring Light. So first off, again, the Green Balance up, tier unto itself, not too far behind other really great skill lines. Restoring Light is going to be up there really high. Living Death for raw heals, again, we talked about that, also really high, also that like second tier. And then after that, when you start looking at stuff, there's a little bit of there's some good and bad and what have you. So siphoning skill line, the Catalyst passive, it's all about the ulti-gen. But the heals here aren't nearly as good like Living Death is. But you can get the Catalyst passive to be even crazier. So basically, if you're trying to generate a lot of ultimate, siphoning, you throw it on. And the benefit of siphoning is you don't really have to slot any of these heals. Okay? You can just use it. Because remember, 2 skill lines will pretty much tap you out on like actual skill space. Okay? Is that tier list in general or just for DPS? No, that's in general, Terrell. That's in general. Healers are probably one of the ones that it matters the least for, but I would say it's absolutely in general. Because even if you're an arc tank, it can be nice depending on what setup you use. Yeah. So after that, okay, so we've got one from each skill line, right? So we know Curative Ruin Forms, we know Living Death, we talked about it. Green Balance, we talked about it. Siphoning for the ultimate, we talked about it. If you are needing to drop an Atro, then this is where you go. I really think that's more for a tank, though. Daedric Summoning works well on tanks. I don't think there's anything from a Sorcerer skill line, guys. I'm not saying there's nothing here, okay? I'm not saying they're like, the other morph of Crit Surge, I forget what it's called. That's a decent heal that can hit people, but there's not enough in any of these skill lines to actually justify the use. Like none of these passives are giving you plus healing. If we go and look at Dark Magic, it's kind of the same situation. There's just it's not like in case, or not in case. Is it in case? Yeah, it is in case. You can get Major Maim in an AoE that has special unique utility in certain situations. Maybe Basai or something, but basically no. Like it looks good on paper. Like, are you going to use this on Basai with all the Atros up? Sure. Are you standing close enough to group? Does it make sense to use? Do you have the bar space? I have a lot of questions, and I think the answer is like probably you still don't use this. Even in Aussie and Cage, the new trial, you think it'd be great there, but it's just kind of an awkward position. I know it gives also, I think, minor vitality or something, another healing buff, but it's a burst heal, and it's the same kind of heal as Combat Prayer. I'm not saying it's not cool, but this whole skill line just does not justify its use, basically. You could use it, and I wouldn't be like, what the hell are you doing? But it just doesn't. Same thing with a DK, just no reason. Ardent Flame, there's just nothing really here for us that's gonna move the needle. Draconic Power, same deal. This is all tank stuff. Earth and Heart, it's kind of a weird mix. Like, sure, Ash Cloud, but it's too small of an AoE. It doesn't move with you. One of the things about Ardent Flame is with Inferno, you can morph this, and it's same thing with the other morph of Crit Surge. Like, it can be a useful, smart target heal in groups that are spread out and going crazy, but the rest of the skill line doesn't really justify the use of taking this whole thing for that one skill. There's nothing else really that it gives you that's that great. Again, compared to the other skill lines. So, again, just to summarize one more time, Restoring Light, a really good one. I think you probably want this in your group, okay? Nothing from DK, nothing from Sorcerer. Nightblade, I think that if you want Ultimate Generation, Siphoning is the line right now. So that's our second one. Green Balance, it's our top tier one. So that's our third one that's incredibly good. Living Death, that's going to be our fourth one. Really good. Also helps with ulti generation. And again, it's probably really undervalued. And then our fifth one there is Soldier of the Apocrypha. So we end up with 5 really good skill lines. And we have 2 healers with 6 spots. Okay. So, and if they both take Siphoning, that's every single one of the skill lines we just talked about. Okay. That we said are like that top tier. And so I think that's what it works out. So if you're building a healer, I would recommend some in matching with your other healer, some form of curative rune forms, living death, green balance. Those are the main heal ones for ulti generation, siphoning, and then also for healing, restoring light. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So you got 4 really good healing skill lines. Someone could grab 2 of those. Ideally, one would grab one with good recoveries, and someone else would grab another one with good recoveries. So you both have good recoveries, but keep that in mind. Hey, Mary. Mary says, sorry I missed Curative Rune Forms part. Is it good? Yes, it is good. If you actually just watch, like, just before this, Mary, I just broke it down in a lot of detail a couple of times, actually, to go through it. Yeah. So those are the 5 main 4 healing, 1 ulti gen kind of skill lines that you really want on a healer. All right, what else are we going to talk about next? Somebody asked something. Support DPS. What is like a good support DPS build? I bet we can do that. Give me just one moment. Sorry if the audio is a little bit weird right now. Let me see what we can do. I'm actually looking at my notes, guys. So I know roughly what the build is, but I don't have it memorized. Actually, I would say one of the things that was really cool, we could just look at the help channels. Let's look at Luna posted one. Actually, Luna posted it probably on our YouTube. Do you guys want to watch some YouTube real quick? How bad's the audio right now? Is it okay if I'm tabbed out like this? This is going to be okay? All right, Luna Cairo. If I can, hey, I spelt it correctly. Excellent. Did she put it on here? Yeah, let's take a look. We're going to pull it up. Is the audio freaking out right now, guys? It sounds fine to me, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I get a little crackly. Okay, let's do this. ESO, it's just ESO. I'm just gonna quit ESO. We'll log back in. All right, let's take a look. Let's see here. All right, so this is Luna's Zen build. Okay, she's running Zens, and you run Zens and then another meta set. We'll see what she's running at the end. So she's running. She's got we'll see Nightblade. She's got DK, and then I believe she has Arcanist. Yeah, she has Arcanist. Cool. So most builds right now, guys, are pretty much all the best. Let me mute this. I'm sorry, Lena. You got some great tunes, but so the best setups right now are running Tentacular Dread, which is the other morph of Cephaliarch's Flail. I love that personally. Instead of generating Crux, it consumes Crux, provides you with 15% increased damage, which is wild to all of your abilities, right, on that target or anything it hits. But it's 5%. It's not 15. I think it's 5% plus 2% per Crux, right? I think it's 11%. I'm sorry. I think it's 11%. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going off memory. So 11% increase. it's huge either way. Other skills we're using here, we can just pause. So she's actually a vampire on this, and she's using the vampire spammable. We'll hop into game and take a look at that in a second, but I think that's really cool. It's not blood for blood. It's the other morph. I forget what it's called. We've got a back bar two-hander for direct damage because we're doing direct damage mostly with this build. That's more what it's set up for. And that's what the Maelstrom weapon gives us. Same reason we use it on our beam build, because now it's direct damage, and why you also use two-handers on Nightblade builds, because they historically have lent themselves more to direct damage builds. Also similarly with Sorks. Then we have I want to say Cauterize, but Cauterize is the heal. It's Fu, which stands for Flames of Oblivion. I always remember Fu and I forget the skill name. So this shoots out and hits three targets every couple of seconds, and does direct damage. Okay, so it's kind of like our what is the skill called? Our Arcanist skill that we run that makes our weapons all glowy and have the glyphs on them. It shoots out and does damage every couple of seconds, and it's, even though it's it's an ability that has a duration, it actually does direct damage, which is kind of interesting. There's skills that are like that. Then we're running our Ruin here, and then we're running this is a really long and really good dot that is from the DK skill line. I will note that this damage ramps up on this skill, so you do want to make sure it goes all the way off. And then we're running Banner. The Banner is there to generate Crux, so this is why it's an Arcanist base, okay? So the Crux, the class mastery on her Banner, and I'm also, like, I haven't checked this build out entirely. I just can look at this and I know what she's running, just so you guys know. So Banner is generating Crux. That's going to help us have enough Crux so that we can use our Flail. It lasts for 20 seconds, and so we want at least three Crux. Banner will give us one every 5 seconds, so that's why we're running it there. And basically what you find, even when you're running a skill that, set like Zen's, that is based on damage over time, you only need actually like 3 or 4 damage over time abilities to very easily keep up full stacks of Zen. And the reason for that is because you're doing a lot of burning damage. Burning will tick over time, and you have poison weapon enchants that will tick over time. Here, I think she has 2. I would probably throw a third one on here. I don't know. This is a little bit this is an easier rotation. I would just double check and make sure that you're good with this and that you're hitting all your light attacks to keep all of your enchants procced. But if Luna's running it, then I think we're good. Let's see what she actually has in the setup here. This one is going to be an arc base. Yes. That's what we were saying is earlier, just before you came in, Mary, is that arc is the best base class for everything all the time. Yeah. Oh, she has her touch of Zen up, 92%. That's basically close to 100%. Okay, so it's working just fine, apparently. So, oh, you know what? Part of it is that it could be harmful winds should count as a dot, right? So maybe that's where she's getting that, because she only had 2. Normally I say you want at least 3, but maybe if you're running Rally with the harmful winds, that would count as your third one. I'd have to talk to her. I don't know if Luna's here. Luna, are you here? I want to do a build guide on this where we kind of walk through and explain everything, but Luna already has the build up on her channel here, guys. Hey, Dobby, thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Dobby says, just got back in ESO for the first time since 2020. Your videos have been super helpful. Hey, that's great to hear, man. Thanks for all the awesome content. Hey, appreciate it. They're all one. All right, cool, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for the $5. Guys, since we're all here too, if I can just do one more shameless plug. We got merch on the channel. I think you guys know, but you can go check it out. If you look at below all of my videos, probably below this stream right now, and you go take a look, we've got Night Horror Gaming merch. So we've got some shirts that'll have, so they range from 25 up to 35, and then we've also got some hoodies. They just have the symbol on the front. The premium version has some stuff on the sleeve. It says you're an alpha tester. Got a little Daedric symbol on the other one, and then on the back of the neck here. If this is like for the $35 one, you'll have in silver, my signature there. So I thought it was kind of fun. There are also some class ones here as well. So another way you can support the channel if you want to get some swag. The Warden ones, Nightblade is coming. I really like the Necro and the Warden. Those are my two personal favorite. Probably because I like those two classes. I'm sure all the DKs are like, why don't you like the DK one? I just don't love DKs. Okay. And there's also a Nightblade one that's coming. But these are up for just under 2 weeks, guys. So get them while they're hot, because after that they're gone. All right. And the hoodies are a little bit more, of course. So yeah, this build, she got 146k, and I think she's running Zens. So if she wasn't running Zens, she would probably get a little bit more damage. Very respectable, and it's a lot easier. It's like an easier rotation. So you're waiting for the Nightblade merch? Okay, awesome. I will give a ping and see if we can get it up there a little bit quicker. Talk to Bonky. All right, and then yeah, Zen daggers on the front bar. Reliquant on the body here. This is one example. I also see people running a similar with like DK Necro. I've seen Nightblade Arcanist Necro because of all the dots and everything. And it's just because the Necro gives and if you do the Necro, guys, Necros are giving a lot of damage to dots, right? So you're gonna not be running something like this, which is mostly direct damage focus, with a shocking banner here as well. The banner giving bonus to direct damage, guys. That's what that is. And then class mastery, and then minor courage. Okay, so but instead of running that, you want to make sure you have a bunch of damage over time abilities, right? So venomous claw here too. You see her duration on that. This actually lasts for 24 seconds, and you can see that on average she's casting it every 25. Venomous Claw builds up damage, and so it does the most damage at the very end. You want to make sure it ticks all the way down before you recast it. So very important there. If you cast it early, you're going to be losing damage there. All right. Oh, we already had it up. I'm really pushing the merch, but it's only here, and I'm just afraid people don't know about it, guys. I'm not actually trying to like push the merch that hard. I'm gonna have to close the launcher and then relaunch. We'll hop back in a game. So that's one example. We can probably look at another one. Miles, Lenny, do you have a particular Zen setup that you're liking right now? Lenny is incredibly knowledgeable player, and somebody I hit up and ask all kinds of questions about builds, about raid group optimization and stuff like that, along with many other people. But he's incredibly knowledgeable. Tell Bonky I said please. Okay, I absolutely will. What's up, Wudo? Wudo Kid says, hey, at Niharo Gaming, hi. Does new Heavy Attack Mythic require new Season Pass, also known as Old Expansion? Yes, it does, because it drops in the new zone. Yeah. Yep. It does. Pretty much all the Mythics act like that. Yeah, I've just been doing Blade DK Crow. Okay. Cool. Should we do something fun, guys? Let's see if I can figure out what Lenny is running. Just by knowing those 3 skill lines. Let's see if I can figure it out. I bet I won't get it perfect. Lenny, did we cover everything that you had mentioned, man? I want to make sure that we did. I think we did, but I just want to double check. Nani says, push that merch and don't forget the subscriptions and memberships. Yeah, guys, Nani's been a member here since the beginning. I think she might have been the first member, or one of the first. Actually, no, I think you were the first. I think you actually beat Lyriel, and Lyriel was like, why didn't you tell me they were up? And she hit me. Guys, becoming a channel member starts at just $1 a month. It was a nice hit. My wife is laughing in the background. Guys, memberships start for just $1 a month. They go up from there. I try to release stuff early. Give you guys kind of the inside scoop. Sometimes you get a little bit of extra info. It's nothing crazy, but if you want to help the channel, want to help me continue to make great videos like this, consider becoming a channel member. It would help a hero out. I'd really appreciate it. Guys, I also got to tell you, I've been playing Dune Awakening. You're going to be seeing just as much Dune as ESO on this channel before too long. I'm hooked. I can stop whenever I want. I don't want to. Game is so good. It might not be for everybody, but oh my god, it's so good. Okay, what are we doing here? We're getting on a DPS. Let's see. Lenny says you can get 150k on the dummy. It's more messy rotation because of blast bones. Okay, yeah. I think that's one of the things that Luna said, is that her build was very easy to use, which I think was one of the benefits, but Lenny's over here sweating it out. He's going to be just fine. Nani, I appreciate the encouragement. Guys, for the longest time, I didn't even like asking people to like and subscribe because I just feel like if I make good enough content that people are going to want to like and subscribe. And Nani was like, you got to do it. You got to do it. I finally become more comfortable doing it. So, and I feel like mostly it's just reminding people like, hey, this thing exists. And a lot of times you're like, oh yeah, I didn't like this video. You know, that's hopefully what I'm going, the vibe I'm going for at least. Also, you can, Lenny says, also you can jail them into a colo if you need one. Yeah, that's a great point there. Hey guys, actually, while we're here, for the healers and for the tanks, okay, trample, guys, trample. Okay, this is a skill that most of us should be using. What you choose for the focus doesn't really matter, except that it'll change the cost from Magicka to Stamina, so you almost always want Magicka. For your signature option, again, it kind of doesn't matter. There's anything that looks good to you. There are reasons to use certain things. If you are an Arcanist base and you're an Arcanist healer and you need to generate Crux, choose the class mastery. It'll generate a Crux for you. This one generates a corpse because we're on a Necro, but that's what you would go with here. Another one, if you're on a tank and you're using Baron Zadris to help you generate ult, then you go with, I think, Assassin's Misery. It procs 3 status effects, guys. With Baron Zadris one, that's an extra 4 ult that second. Crazy, ridiculous ult if you go with Assassin's Misery here and you have Baron Zadris on. And then for the third option, this is the only one that really matters. Heroism, guys. Major heroism. 3 ultimate every 1.8 seconds. It's absolutely insane, okay? You'll see in all of my support builds, I'm always running trample. Unless it's like one of the last things I want to take off my bar. The ulti gen lets you drop those glyphics that, you know, a knight, I don't know, glyphic haro, maybe that's what we could call me. Glyphics, I love them. On a tank, dropping the Storm Atro, absolutely love it. Horns, colos, whatever you need. Trample is one of those skills that I just absolutely go to. It's amazing, and highly recommend it that you keep it in your repertoire. If you are instead, if you are trying to get minor heroism for your group, because we were talking about healer stuff earlier. So healing, I think that's the way to go here. This will heal for more than a combat prayer whenever you cast it. Just keep that in mind. And then for our last thing here, heroism. But this is minor heroism. It grants it for 20 seconds each sweep, which is crazy, and it hits 6 targets, okay? This is how you get minor heroism on your group now. I think this is, I could be wrong. I need to check out some other stuff, test some other stuff out. But I think for me, Torchbearer with heroism is the way to go. Then after that, it's a little bit of choose your own adventure here. In our hard mode Dreadsail Reef group, I run Gladiator's Tenacity because I think it's crazy good for Maelstrom. Other people will tell you that Olsild's Contingency is better for Maelstrom, and they're right. The problem with Olsild's Contingency, the shield version for Maelstrom, is that you have to cast it beforehand, because if people are dying and you cast it, nothing happens. So you either got to be able to cast and roll dodge or know that it's coming and cast it early. I'm not that good of a healer, so I can more reactively use Torchbearer, and it works really well for me. And if you already want the heroism, you're already using it anyway, so why not use it there? But any of the other options here you want to roll with are just fine. None of them are crazy. They're all a little bit lackluster. Just depends on what you're running, okay? So I just want to mention those two for the healers because we had kind of already talked about it. There's a few. I really need to do a video that's going through all of the scribing skills mostly for tanks and healers, because there's only really about 3 or 4 skills that everybody needs, but those are 2 of the main ones. Olsild's being another one there. Okay, now let's go ahead and pour it out, and let's go get multi-classing unlocked on this guy. Terrell's laughing and about the Dune, and Nani's like, yes, all the Dune. I love it. I love it. Guys, Dune comes out tomorrow. It's like early access now, or not early. It's like if I got lucky, they sent me a key. I am technically in their creator program. It's kind of I say technically. Oh, did I pour to the wrong way shrine? Do I need to have the right? I only have. Oh my God. All right. Well, we're walking to town. We're riding to town. But those guys, I say that because I don't really have any like person-to-person contact. I just ran into them. I saw Dune Awakening at PAX East last year. I was trying to go to so I've been to Tabletop these conventions, and tabletop conventions are a great way to find out about new games, to get to talk to the people that create them and what have you, and get to have a relationship with them. That is not true. I learned for digital games. I thought it was going to be, so I went to PAX East and PAX West last year. Not that many people there. Most of the time, they weren't trying to really. There's indie game companies that will absolutely talk to you. Yeah. But those guys are easy to reach out to individually because it's like three people on the team or whatever, you know. So like the bigger companies, though, it just basically what happens is the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and unfortunately, I won't be going back to those because they're just not worth it. I don't know my way around here, guys. Just so that we all, in case it's not painfully obvious, I'm just wandering around trying to get into Riften. Is this Riften? Yeah, it's Riften. Okay. But yeah, Dune was one that was there. There was a couple there. The folks from Path of Exile were also there, and I would say both those people were great to talk to. It's just the unfortunate issue was that there's literally two games companies that I really got to talk to there. Kind of a third one that was a little bit more indie. Am I? I don't even know where I'm going. I think I want to go over there. So anyways, but I got to talk to them, and I basically harassed them enough that they let me come to their press event, and then also let me be on their creator program. I've never heard back from anybody, but hey, that's cool. As long as they put me on there so that I can. I wish I would have been able to get it on the beta so that I could have had like guides coming out tomorrow and everything, but I've been playing the hell out of it. And oh my God, it's so much fun. And I can't wait to do guides for it. It's going to be great. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit obsessed. Okay, subclassing. What do we do here? Okay, so we're going to stick with Gravelord. I know that. And this is a situation where, so we said Nightblade, I believe. So Nightblade's going to be Assassination. And then we said, not Arcanist, it was DK. So let's grab DK. That's going to be Ardent Flame, right? Almost certainly. So far, so good, Lenny. We're going to have to change some more of our current skills. So we're going to... I always go to Grotwood. I don't know why. It's easy to get to. I'm sure there's other places that are easy to get to. Cool. All right. So, what do we probably have on our bar? Let's just yeet. We can leave some of this stuff. Okay. We're not probably going to be using Blighted Blastbones. We could. Are you using Blighted Blastbones? I'm going to go with Gravelord Sacrifice. It could be Blighted. I could be wrong. Could be Detonating Siphon, I think is the way to go. I think we probably use Corpse Buster. I think Corpse Buster would be really cool. But if we use Corpse Buster, do we want, like, the other morph? I don't know. I think we want the other morph for using Corpse Buster. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure where that's supposed to land. Well, I guess we'll find out. On our front bar here, we're going to use Fighter's Guild skill for passive. We'll put Dawnbreaker here. On our back bar, if we need to, we can slot the Colo, which we already have there, I suppose. We'll yeet everything else off of our bar just so that we get a fresh start. So, Unnerving Boneyard, if you are casting this and you're consuming a corpse, it does 30% more damage. It's blighted. Okay. All right. So that's going to be pretty hooked up. We'll go with blighted there. Thank you. Thank you. You weren't supposed to give me hints. Just let me get it wrong. No, it's okay. So that's what we got there. Will we be using one of these skeletal guys? Maybe. We'll put them back here. We might yeet them off the bar here in a second. What do we got for Ardent Flame? I'm not going to be able to slot it because I don't have it. So we're definitely going to do Searing Strike. We're going to morph to the stamina version of this, which is the same thing that Luna had there. That's all the help I'll give you until I see what you cook. All right. I need these skill lines because I think we're using both of these, to be totally honest. I think we're using both of them. For Assassination, so is this a direct damage or is it a dot build? Lenny, maybe you could tell me that. Give me that one hint. Because we could do two different directions, I assume. I'm guessing... Hey, what's up, Wampus? I'm guessing we're doing Relentless Focus as a passive on the back bar. The thing is, that's the front bar. The thing is that Blastbones is direct damage. Detonating side, I think this is a direct damage. So I'm gonna guess that we're leaving this proc still in the back bar. But if we were using it, we would do Merciless Resolve. But I'm guessing we're leaving it procced on the back bar. That's gonna be my guess. What else? What else? What else? Both. I don't know. It's Zen's, but has direct. Yeah. I meant like banner and everything else. Well, I guess you're probably not using banner. Oh my god, or are you? I feel like I accepted a challenge and I'm unprepared now. Okay, let me see. Okay, so back bar, we got our blast bones. That's going to be a huge part of our damage. Assuming that we're running Corpse Buster, we really want to do two-hander and use Stampede here. We could always use Carve in really long fights. That could go here, but I'm not sold right now. So again, Searing Strike and I think Fiery Breath would both be on this back bar, and I think that would fill up our back bar. Let me see. Increase your damage done with poisoned and burning status effects. Let me see. Warmth. When you deal direct damage with the Ardent Flame ability, your damage over time attacks deal 3% increased damage to the target and reduce movement speed. Okay. So do we need to do a direct... does Fiery Breath have a direct damage? Okay, cool. Fiery Breath does. We'll proc that. But it's only for 3 seconds. I bet we put Whip on our back bar for the passive, actually. Double passives. We can't really display this build in all its glory because I don't have the skill line leveled. Increase the duration and then increase the damage done with fire and poison. So Whip, whenever you morph this to the mag version, guys, you could build stacks with it and provides you passive weapon and spell damage. I'm going to say that it goes here. I'm going to say that Fiery Breath or Searing Strike also goes here. And you know what? I would say Fiery Breath is probably what you drop, and Searing Strike goes here. You could also potentially drop Boneyard and instead slot that. Nah, I think Searing Strike is here. I think Boneyard's still there. And if we're running daggers on the front bar, which I assume we are, we're probably still running Quick Cloak. And we're probably not running this guy. What are you doing? I don't want to tap out too easy, too early. But you need a spammable. Are you using, I'm guessing, Surprise Attack if we're running Stamina as your spammable, and then maybe Camo Hunter? All right, that's my final answer. How'd I do? The back bar missing skill is the what is it called? The Stamina Morph of Searing Strike. Do you got a parse? Do you want to send it to me? I can pull it up. Thanks, Terrell. I appreciate it. Terrell's like, you can do it. All right, we'll give him a second. He might be typing or he might be at work. I'm guessing something like this. So you got a damage over time with Detonating Siphon. You've got you got another. Your second sticky hot would be the Searing Strike. You don't actually have a third one here either. So that's why you could use Fiery Breath. You know what? You would use Fiery Breath maybe instead of Unnerving. Maybe. Nah, I don't know. It's good. Maybe you don't use Lava Whip? Driving at the moment. No worries. Well, yeah, please don't text and drive. We will circle back. Okay, I'll remember what this is, and we'll see how close we got. I might be way off. I might be close. If you get to a light, tell me hot or cold. All right, guys. What other questions? You want to talk about tanks? We haven't talked about tanks. That could be another one. What other questions you got? We got a little bit longer in the stream. If you guys have questions. If you guys don't have questions, we can call it here. Tanks, yes, Terrell says. Okay, Terrell, give me some direction, man. What do you want to talk about? Questions, particular skill lines, what do you got? Somebody throw out some tank questions here. You know what? I'm gonna hop in on my meta tank. It's my Templar tank. What are your recs? What are the skill lines that I definitely want to have, Terrell? I think that's what you're asking. I think that's what you mean by recs. Guys, I just want to say this. There's going to be some revisionist history, okay? Not really even a revisionist history. For the longest time, it's been literal years, Templars and Nightblades both have been very good tanks, okay? I have been well aware of this for a long time, and I've been trying to spread the word, okay? Other ones as well, Sork also. And what people are going to say is they're going to be like, oh, yeah, finally with subclassing, you can grab the one or two skill lines that are good from Nightblade and from Templar. I just want to make sure that we don't forget the 2-year period where they were both really good. Maybe a year and a half, okay? But they've both been very good for a very long time by themselves, doing hard modes, doing trifectas, sweaty content. They've both been very good for a very long time. And it's great that we can grab skill lines. I think we might actually have to port. Let's head to Riften one more time. I also don't have the way shrine on this person, so we'll be running overland. Whip is the spammable. Of course it is, man. Of course it is. God. A few hints. Non-purpose buster. Okay, so no corpse buster. It's just Zenkosh. Okay, that makes sense because of course you're just going to run Zens because you need a trial set. That makes sense. Stampede is on the back bar. There is no Boneyard. Okay. Well, I'm going to call that I'm going to say we got about half that right. Your crit buff comes from Fu. Oh, of course it does. Man. Rookie mistakes. Thanks for that, Miles. Okay, guys, we got to talk about explosive charge. I need to do one of the mini videos I need to do, and the reason that I haven't done it yet, just when I say some of these things, is because I want to do a video just covering taunts. Just going over taunts. The reason I haven't done a video already going over taunts is because I don't care. I don't think it matters how good I do on making the video. I just don't think it's a very clickable topic, and I don't think very many people are going to check it out. Okay. I think 50% is a pretty good grade though, right? That means you got half of them right. Right? What would that be in school? That'd be like a C, right? If I got 50% of the questions right. No, that'd be a failing. Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. Oh my God, I'm going the wrong direction again. I just did this. Okay, so I just want to talk about some of the taunts here because this is an S tier taunt. I was leveling this skill lineup on a different character, and D or fail for sure. Yeah. Yes, they will. P's get degrees. D's get degrees. Yeah. Indeed. Okay, so explosive charge. This skill. Oh my God. So first off, it's fun. It's really fun. Let me show you the skill. Actually, I'm gonna piss off an NPC. I don't care. So you hit the button. First, we got to find a target. Here's a target. Poor innocent person. The guard's gonna. Okay. Here's what you do. You yeet yourself towards them, and then you jab. Okay. It's absolutely amazing. Really cool. Taunts them, right? And gap closes. So it's not really, it's kind of a pseudo range taunt, except for the problem is that you might move yourself across the arena, across the map as well. I'm sorry, person. I had to kill you just to show a point, but I'm sure you'll respawn. You'll live forever. Okay. So it's really cool, right? So it's your taunt. It's kind of fun. It can function as a range taunt. Sometimes it's a bit trolly. Good range on it. Does damage. It hits, and any enemy hit that is casting is Interrupted. Awesome interrupt. Black Rose Prison Grinding, it's amazing. They're also set off balance and then stunned for 3 seconds if they were channeling. Sets off balance, interrupts, taunts, and it gives you major protection for 15 seconds. This saves you a bar space in certain fights. If you're in a fight where you only need a melee taunt and you can hold block while casting it, even when you're charging, most charging abilities where you're teleporting, you cannot block. As far as I can tell, you maintain block the entire time. Okay, there might be some glitch or whatever, but as far as I can tell, you maintain the even when you're charging across the arena. It is an awesome, awesome taunt, and I absolutely love it. Okay, I want to make a build with this just because I love this taunt so much. Okay, I don't even know what else we were talking about. I just wanted to tell people that. Radiant Ward. Radiant Ward is an amazing heal also. Is it as good as a Hardened Ward? No, but it's still pretty good, and it's still pretty cool. And if there's multiple targets, it gets even better. So it's a great... I'm naked on this character, so don't judge these values. It has a decent value, and it gets 20% more for each enemy hit. You're always going to hit at least one enemy, right? Pretty much, if you're a tank. And, you know, if you got several adds, it's even better. Really cool. Love those two skills. Spear shards now, you can also morph, and you can actually use, is it Luminous? Luminous now lets you use your own synergy, guys, and if you're running Harmony Jewelry, you get a ridiculous amount of recoveries from this, okay? Hopefully you don't need it, but it's kind of cool. Necros can do the same thing. Maybe somebody else can. Those are the two that come to mind right now, but not a skill you'll always run, but I just absolutely love it. What do we get from the skill line? Increased critical damage. That's not going to do very much for us. Minor Berserk, Minor Protection, whenever we cast a skill for 6 seconds. Well, our Radiant Ward lasts for 6 seconds, so we cast our shield, gives us Minor Protection. It's really cool. Burning Light's a DPS ability, and then Balanced Warrior, increase our weapon, spell damage, and our armor. So we do get some armor bonuses, passes from the skill line. It's just cool. Okay, let's talk about how we would set up our tank. Just generally, it doesn't have anything to do with a Templar, guys. All of our tanks, and you'll see this on all of my builds, guys. And maybe I'll spread it out so it's a little bit more obvious. I like them here. This is where I keep them, but it doesn't matter. Wherever you like keeping your particular skills. And then our back bar, let's also get our back bar straightened out here a little bit. And I just want to show you guys how you should set up your tank no matter what you're running, okay? Candelario says, is Killer's Blade or Impale used at all anymore on a DPS build? Yes. Yes. I think Lenny here might use it on his build, and I know that Luna was using it on her build for Zen's Redress. Yeah, it's still a great execute. Yep. Okay. What do we got? So, one spot on one of our bars needs to be a taunt. And if it's a ranged taunt, it's the only taunt we technically need. If it's a melee taunt or something weird like Explosive Charge, then on our back bar, it's on a Zenkosh. Okay, that's the other skill I was missing. No! Then you put it here. I put my taunts in the same spot on both bars. So if I'm running different taunts, but I want to taunt something, I know it's always the same ability, okay? Or same button, I mean. Okay, so that is 2 skills on our skill bar that are taken up by the taunt. Now, if you're running only one taunt, then on this back bar situation, you put Elisus here. Why do you do that? It provides major breach and minor breach if you're running an ice wall, which you should be. And it provides minor brittle if you're running an ice staff on your back bar, which again, you should be. So this is how you help keep up brittle. I think most tanks should do that. If you're not running it, then you just put a range taunt. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it does matter, but there's a lot of stuff that can work. Again, I need to do a video breaking down these taunts because it went from like really simple and really straightforward to kind of confusing and not very straightforward. Especially for the average player, okay? For the meta player, there's a clear right answer, but the average player, there's not a clear right answer here. Okay, so 2 buttons are our taunts, okay, or Elisus on every bar. Now, we also need some sort of burst heal. So that's our second skill. And it doesn't matter what you use. Well, I mean, it matters, again, but like pick one that's good. Don't pick one that's bad. but there's a lot of stuff you could use that will work very well. That's what I mean by doesn't matter. I don't actually mean doesn't matter. I should be more precise with my language. And then we need a shield. Everybody can have a shield now. So that's 3 spots on your front bar that are guaranteed taken. Again, I like mine. I put them like this. Now, if you're in a hard-hitting fight, guys, hard-hitting fight, you pretty much always run flare unless you happen to be running explosive charge. Literally the only thing that would stop you from running flare. And you also want to be running generally barrier in the front bar for the passives. For those who don't know, Magic Aid, if you have both versions, or if you have both CP in this, only have one, it increases your recovery by 10% per skill slotted. So that's 10%, that's another 10%, 20% total. And it provides us with major protection, okay? On our back bar, one of our spots needs to provide us with major resolve. Now, ideally, one of our tanks is running the Warden Winner's Embrace. Is it Winner's Embrace? The winner skill, the ice skill line. I think it's I'm now like second guessing myself. So but even then, I typically have trust issues and I want to run my own. Okay, so I usually put it here, and then we always want to be running Wall of Elements on our back bar, and then for our ultimate, it's whatever the raid needs. So Warhorn, maybe an Atro, something else. That means that on Expansive Frostcloak, yeah, but I'm trying to think of the skill line. Is it? Winner's Embrace feels like a skill. My head is spinning from all of this stuff. Let me see. What is it? It is Winner's Embrace. Okay. I'm just going crazy, guys. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. So maybe you're running Expansive Frostcloak. You would put it here. Okay. Doesn't matter. Specifically, it's not that important what skill you're running. There's a best. It does matter, but like also you just want to make sure you have the right kinds of skills on your bar. So if we look at this, what does this mean? Well, this means that on oh my god, I just got rid of all my taunts. We'll put one back. Oh, that's not that's not a taunt. There we go. Let me put them back, and let me grab something else. Let me grab a yeah, let me grab a little Daedric Summoning. Yeah, we'll grab Daedric Summoning. That'll work. Hardened Ward. That's what we'll throw in there. Cool. All right, so this is just a multi-class example, okay, guys? What does that mean? That means that on our bar, on a hard-hitting fight, okay? Okay, if this is mind-boggling for you sometimes, I feel much better. It is. It absolutely is, Nani. There's just so much going on. What does that mean? That means that there's really 3 skills, okay, that we need to slot on our bar. And when we're choosing any of these other skill lines, what we're looking for is how do we fill these 3 spaces, or these not even 3 spaces, these like 5 or 6 spaces that are set, okay? So Wall of Elements, we don't ever really need to change. Depending on what we run here, I normally run a range taunt on my front bar. So you'll see, I don't show this on all my builds, but when I'm actually running, I always have a range taunt on my front bar, and I always have Ellie Sus back here. That's just what I like to do. I enjoy that play style. I never really change it, so if I could help it. Okay, so that means that Wall of Elements, our taunts, or our Ellie Sus never changes. We just need to find a shield, we need to find a good self-heal, and we need to find a good source of major resolve. And ideally, minor resolve and minor protection. And that's it, okay? Now, if we're running Daedric Summoning, I know that Bound Armaments here, or Bound Aegis, rather, I'm sorry. Bound Aegis will provide minor protection and minor resolve. I absolutely love it. Normally get minor resolve from your healers using combat prayer, but if you're ever not in group, you might want your own source. Minor protection you can do on a lot of things. As we talked about with our skill line that we yeeted from our bar, we would get it when casting our shield, but now we can get it here. Typically, this spot here on your back bar, I use for some sort of like tank, extra tankiness, right? So Bound Aegis works here. I don't know if these others have anything that cries out to me. I don't think they do. Kind of. You could go with Repentance here. Would actually work quite well if you wanted to. Gives you minor recoveries. Make sure you have them. And then you can also consume corpses to get just a ridiculous amount of stamina recovery. That works surprisingly well in a surprising number of situations. If you wanted our ritual, we want extended ritual. This can be really cool for an extra heal or something else. But usually here I put something. And then again, like ideally, in an ideal situation, what I actually run here, and I don't have it, is I would run Trample here. And then again, this is a flex spot. And if I can, I run Vamp Drain. But you don't need to do that. These are flex spots. Like if you want to run an extra shield, you want to run Warded Contingency for the Mage's Guild skill line, whatever. But the main thing, guys, is you want a self-heal, a shield, and a taunt on your front bar. You're going to use your ultimate. You're going to use it for the passives. Put on barrier. On our back bar, we need a source of Major Resolve. We need our Wall of Elements, a range taunt if we don't have one on our front bar, Ellie Sus if we do, and we're pretty much good to go. Okay? You know, I could say more about the taunts and Ellie Sus and what have you, but those are the basics, okay? So whenever you're looking at these skill lines, and we could just kind of walk through them all real quick, actually. And then after that, I think we're going to be at the 2-hour mark, and we'll probably have to call it there, guys. But let's look through. So I might have to pull into some of these because I forget what's on here. Okay, so if we go with Adric Spear, Radiant Ward can be our shield. We can use Explosive Charge for our taunt. That covers 2 spots there. So, okay, we could play with that there. Dawn's Wrath, what do we have here? Nothing. Nothing really from Dawn's Wrath. Restoring Light. We have our source of Major Resolve with Channeled Focus if we want it. Honor the Dead. This actually is a really good heal for a tank. We just never want to cast it when we have more than, 75% of our health. That's the main thing. If we cast in thin, it's really expensive, but if we're not, then it's really cheap because it refunds 18% of the cost every 2 seconds for 6 seconds, meaning that you get like, what is that? Almost like 55% of the cost back. So it's an incredibly expensive heal, but after 6 seconds, you get half the cost back if you're casting it in a situation where you actually need it instead of just like panic casting it. So don't panic cast it, but otherwise it's really good. Again, Extended Ritual could be good. Repentance could be good. Channel Focus can be good, okay? And then you can also look at the passives. These are mostly healing focused. They're not going to do a whole lot for you. If you look at Adric Spear, you'll also find you got a little bit of minor protection here, most of these, and a little bit of armor. The other ones are kind of damage focused. I won't go into all the passives, actually. I think it'll take too long. Earth and Heart. Igneous Shield, not the best shield in the world, guys. It will give you back stamina, so that's nice, but it can be your class shield. It's just not going to be as strong. So that could go here. Other things it gives you are not, it's not going to fill one of those core requirements, okay? Not that it's not good. I recommend Earth and Heart you have it in group, but just FYI. Nothing really in Dark Magic that is super compelling. Daedric Summoning. Hardened Ward, this is our shield. Bound Aegis, a great source of minor resolve and minor protection if you don't have it. Some classes have these buffs, some classes don't. Some classes have both of them, some classes have one, and it could be one or the other. It just depends, okay? And obviously now that depends on your skill lines. For Nightblade, okay, so Shadow is the main. Shadow Cloak here it's actually our heal, Shadow Cloak is, which is kind of weird. We choose the healing morph of this. That's going to provide us with a heal over time as well as minor protection, and it also provides us with our Major Resolve. So in that case, it's doing a lot. It's a heal over time, though, not our burst heal. So it's kind of a little bit awkward, and the heal doesn't last for a long time, but it's an incredibly powerful heal. Blur is kind of that utility skill here. Both morphs are very good. It could go there. Other things here, that's really the 2 main ones from the Shadow skill line. Siphoning. Malevolent Offering. This would be your burst heal. It could go here. So if you chose that, it would fit in your heal slot. That's really it. Siphoning Strikes is a great utility skill. You could put it here or as your flex spot for recoveries. For a Warden, it's really just Winter's Embrace. As we said, Arctic Wind, this can be an amazing, Polar Winds is an amazing heal and a heal over time. It's really like the best tank heal in the game. Followed close behind as far as efficiency, actually. And when I say efficiency, what I mean is the heals per magic cost. Malevolent Offering is a close second, depending on your setup. I run reduced spell cost. So a lot of people don't know that, but it's actually incredible. It's actually really good. So that's your heal. Frost Cloak on your back bar. Obviously, we already have it. So that works there. And again, just so you guys can kind of see what this looks like, you put on Polar Wind, you swap out Honor the Dead, and you're good. Okay, and if you look at all my cards, they're all like this, okay? They're all structured like this. And so if you need a refresher, just go look at them, okay? So Winter's Embrace, how about Necro? Necro's kind of in an odd spot because we have a bunch of skills that we kind of want. Nothing from Gravelord besides the Colo. If we look at Bone Tyrant, what do we have here? We have Bone Armor. It provides minor and major resolve, so that's nice. Scythe is not a good heal, guys. It's only in melee, doesn't heal for that much. It's just not, it's never been a good heal. People say it's a great heal. It's never been a good heal. I don't know who thinks it's been a good heal, but it's not true. There's some passives there that are good. Spirit Mender. This will reduce our damage taken by 10%, and it goes in that utility spot, or that's where I tend to put it. Nothing else here besides passives, and obviously Necro Res is S tier. Herald of the Tome. Actually, I think just skip to Soldier of the Apocrypha. So, if you want a range taunt, Runic Jolt, put Runic Sunder on your front bar, goes here. If you want a shield, then you run either morph of Runespite Ward, goes here. If you want Cruxweave Armor, which you do, Major Resolve and Minor Breach, it goes right here. So you're using most of these skills. If you need a burst heal and you're in a group setting, you can run Ruin Guard of the Still Waters. And that goes here. So it actually ends up taking 4 of your spots. You run 4 of these 5 skills. And you know what? Run of the Colorless Pool, you probably run as well as one of your utility or flex skills, or you can even put it here in place of Elisus, and like you're good. So that's all 5 skills that you would run from Soldier of the Apocrypha. It's kind of crazy. And the passive for extra armor, it's kind of nuts. Other skills. Actually, that's it. That's all of our skill lines. Okay, guys? So whenever you're playing with this, you just need to be looking at where am I going to get my shield? Okay? What are the best? And we could go through, maybe I'll do a video on it one day and go through the best shields. Heal, taunt, which can be generic, so you don't necessarily have to worry about taunt. Major resolve, and then if you have some kind of utility skill to cover minor protection and minor resolve, if you're not getting it from somewhere else. Okay? That's how you make a tank build, guys. That's all there is to it. Now, how exactly everything fits together, it's a little bit of a Tetris, okay? There's a lot going on there, but that's it for our tanks. Guys, I've been monologuing for a while. I'm like, am I still on here? Do you guys have any questions about anything? Anything I can answer? I've been going on for a minute. We didn't lose very many people, so that's good. I think we'll give a second to see if we have any more questions. Hopefully all that made sense, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'll just say it one more time for those of you guys who are here who might not have been here at the very beginning. I am going to be taking a little bit of time off of trials. Still here taking notes. All right. I'm going to be taking a little bit. I need more time. I have some life stuff that has come up, and life, obviously is more important than work, right? Where none of us are going to get to the end of our lives and be like, man, I just wish I would have worked more. And while I absolutely love what I do, something has to give right now. I have too many things that need to happen. A big part of that is ESO, right? Like coming out with all this stuff. I need to make builds, need to make build guides, need to get stuff in a really concise, good format for you guys. And I need to do that. Also, Dune Awakening, a new game coming out that is going to be a core part of this channel moving forward. I need to be playing this. I need to be spending time. I want to do build guides, but there's other, there's some questionable build guides and there's some really good build guides out there by other people, but all of them have had a lot of time. Not all of them, but many of them have had a lot of time because they were in the beta. So some of them have been playing this for like 6 or 9 months and they've got thousands of hours of the game. I have not even 100 probably. You need to stop playing Dune and also stop whenever I'm sorry. You need to be playing Dune, but also can stop whenever you want. Right. That's what Lyriel says. Yeah. So all of that combined is, I think the thing that has to give right now, because I also have the life things, is I think trials. So I've graciously, I've reached out to some gracious raid leaders, and they have told me it was okay. They're going to fill for me. So there's not going to be as many streams in the next week or two. And it's bad timing, but that's just life, right? Life doesn't wait for your timing to be perfect for stuff to happen. But just know that's what's going on. And if you hear anybody being like, where'd Haro go? Why isn't he streaming? That's why. That's why, guys. Something's got to give. And I think the trials, while they're really fun, they're the least productive for me as far as things that I can give up right now. So I just want you guys to know. Nani says, take care of you and yours. We will be here when you are. I appreciate it, Nani. And I also appreciate all the raid leaders that I reach out to. I'm not leaving you, Terrell. Don't. Oh my God. I'm not leaving. I still got to run on Thursday that I'm actually leading on the new trial. That group has been in preparation for 2.5 months. So I don't want to abandon them. I still have the Moore's hard mode group on Sunday because they've been having problems finding fills. So I don't want to bail on them. I think the other groups can find fills for me. So that's what's going on. We might not even be doing much Helldivers as well. So that's another thing that might be going for right now. It's just the live streams, guys. Normally I stream 24 hours of trials a week. I'm cutting down the 20 hours. That's what's going on. Nani says, I will be streaming the trials and Dune. There you go. Go check out the streams from Nani. Lyriel says, no more DSR hard mode then. Just for a week or maybe two, Lyriel. That's all that's going on. We'll come back to it. That group is also running for a very long time, so they'll move on to something else, and I'll stay with them. Okay? So anyways, guys, I don't think we have any more questions. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you guys and going through all this stuff. I do feel bad that I failed Miles's test because I wasn't up on the Zen's builds because it's been off. It's like something that I need to do for all of you guys, and I want to do for the Discord and for people that I know personally, but it's also as far as the overall ESO community, it's a lower tier thing. Less people are going to watch that video. And so it's one that I do for my soul. It's one I do because I want to, but not one that I do because I have to, which are some other builds, right? So anyways, yeah, I've had a great time. I will still be streaming. We'll still probably do a talking stream, just like we did today. As I can, because you guys really like these streams. I get a lot of engagement. You guys are watching. I think it's very helpful. So if I have something important to talk about or something I can help you guys with, let me know and I will absolutely stream and we can talk about it. But there'll be less just trial streams for the next week or two, and then we'll be back to normal probably after that. Okay? Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's always been fun. I told Nani a while ago that I didn't really like streaming. I really considered myself more of a YouTuber, and I think that has changed. I really do enjoy these live streams. I really enjoy the community and getting to chat with all of you guys. I've heard people say, for as long as I've been doing YouTube, that they'll say things like, YouTubers will say things like, talk about the parasocial relationship, which I know are a thing or whatever, where people think they know you and they don't know you or whatever. In general, I don't know all of you guys, but I consider my internet friends my real friends. And I think for a lot of people, they draw a distinction there. And for me, I don't. And so it's nice to get to hang out. I don't know everybody as well, as well as I would like maybe, but I really appreciate it. And I love, the other thing is too, is other people, there's community, people form relationships and go run with other people. The other day, I don't know if it was Cake Man or was it Vatra? I don't remember. One of them needed some gear, and Lenny hopped on and got him a full group. And if Lenny's getting them gear, they were just sprinting through dungeons to get them gear and stuff like that. And it's really cool to see, the community kind of helping each other out and kind of being even if you don't know me or we don't hang out or whatever, maybe you hang out with somebody else on the channel and stuff like that. And I think it's pretty cool. And I think we try to make a positive and fun place for everybody to come play games. So I think it's kind of special, and I'm glad we have it here. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good Monday. I hope you get some multi-class again. Hopefully your trials go a little bit better this week than they did last week. I know at least for mine. Hopefully yours went great last week, but I know for mine, everybody's like, oh my God, what am I doing? Nani says, I am who I am, wherever I am. You seem to be the same. I can't put on the fake personality for the night. Yeah, I'm not that good of an actor, Nani. I realized that a long time ago. It's well, do I, because, there's people that do, they're always in character. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I just got to be myself. Sometimes myself is not my best self, and I'm a little bit, I'm not happy with how I acted or whatever. I get frustrated in trials or something. I say something I probably shouldn't have, but that's just being human. I think we all strive to be better than we were yesterday, and that's all that I think that's all anybody can really ask for. So, all right, guys, appreciate everybody for dropping in. It's good to see you guys. We'll still be streaming, guys. We'll see you Thursday, if not before. All right, have a good one, everybody. We'll catch you later.